Hello and welcome to Uncovered, the podcast with your host, Jason Irving. Join me in a journey to understand what's truly happening in your world and the world around you. This is not about how you're living life on the surface. It's about what's truly driving you from under the covers. I'm going to take you on a journey to deeply uncover the reason why you are here, the ultimate purpose in your problems and the way that they have shaped your life up until now. See, I believe you have a purpose, and your problems are the highway towards ultimate realization of that journey towards freedom and the reconnection of your true self. I've been told I have a different spin on most things, and I'll be giving you my understanding of life, love, and what we're all here for, purpose. To get the best out of this podcast, drop what you already know so you can discover what's beyond you. So join me, let's play this game of life and bring on liberation, transformation, and change. Let's do this.
Hi Jason, how are you today?
Very well. I am extremely excited today.
Because we're talking about excitement.
Because we are talking about excitement and the fact that this is this the second time or the third time?
Second time.
Second time. We've erased excitement from our podcast accidentally. So
sorry.
It's all right, it happens. So look, excitement is actually that childlike spontaneity that we're always been looking for in life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what we're searching for. We're looking for something that's going to make us feel good.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people just chase excitement all the time, right? Don't they?
Yeah, it's like a drug. It's like, you get the people who are surfers, the bungee jumpers, they're chasing that thing that gives them that amazing endorphin kicker. And excitement actually is really interesting because the chemicals in the body that excitement produces are the same chemicals that anxiety produces. So they don't know what the difference is. So it's a polarity. So when we have anxiety and exhilaration, those are the emotions that come up that actually are around that. So it's interesting having an emotion that's bad and an emotion that's good, and they don't know what to do with them.
And I think that makes sense as well. Like in these extreme situations you were talking about before, you're really scared, but you're also really excited. So say, for example, like skydiving or something, you're just like, oh my God, I'm about to jump out of a plane. But at the same time, you're just like, woohoo, this is so awesome.
Yeah,
yeah.
Exactly. And both you and I have jumped out of planes. I remember when you get down the bottom, you want to go back again and do it again, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that's really difficult around excitement is not being able to be still. So for people who are like Anya, my wife, we'll call her fly in a bottle because she's always buzzing around doing stuff. The tricky thing is that how can you be absolutely still, because excitement and stillness don't play together.
Mm-hmm.
So people who are really chasing excitement, they quite often will have that high anxiety, and they're looking for that something that's going to give them a sense of joy and a sense of experience that's going to make them feel really, really good in their world. So what do we do around it, right? So if you look at holidays, we're looking for either one or two things, something to relax or something that we're going to be excited by.
Mm-hmm.
And we all get excited by holidays, having time away from our work. But imagine if your world was actually excited, you were excited about your world regardless of what day it was.
Mm-hmm.
What would that be like?
Oh, I think really liberating, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
it
just
would be.
Really different. You don't need the holiday.
No, you don't need that holiday. And so that's what we need to learn to be able to do, is actually get that excitement and wonder back. Now, I'm very lucky, Philia. I have these amazing kids that show me excitement every day.
Mm-hmm.
And they get super excited about the small things. So as an example, my daughter, I was running a class and she said in the morning, I've got a pine cone for you. It was actually a seed pod, I found out at the course, but it was a pine cone. And she said, maybe you could show it to the class. And she was so excited to show me the pine cone. Now, all of us would would look at that and say, that's a dead thing.
Mm-hmm.
To her, she was so excited about giving it to me, and we had this amazing connection in the morning, and I taught about it, the pine cone, what it was and what we felt about each other, because there was this amazing bond that we created in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And the coolest thing that I gave her in the afternoon was, at the end of the day, I said, Charlotte, you know what I did? She's like, what? And of course, she's forgotten about the pine cone because she's a kid. She's not thinking about, did you share the pine cone thing? Do you remember the morning that you gave me something? No. She'd forgotten about it because she was in her own little world, right? Which is what 5-year-olds do. I said, do you remember, what did you give me in the morning? A present in the morning. A pine cone. And I said, I taught about it in the morning. And she wrapped her arms around me. She was so excited that I'd actually shared about the pine cone. She told me not to throw it away because she's a very intuitive little girl. And it had a lot of meaning to her, the excitement that I actually made her significant that day and made her feel good. And she was so excited. And this is what kids do. It's her birthday on Thursday. And she's so excited to go to the club, right? Not necessarily the place that I would pick for my birthday. She wants to go to the club, and she's so excited. She's ticking off her days on her calendar when her birthday is, so then she can get excited about what she's going to experience on her birthday on Thursday. And today it is Monday. So there's a couple of days to go before this little rabbit is looking forward to a birthday. Now, I don't like my birthday, right? I'm not excited about my birthday, and quite often when you're older, you're like, oh, I'm getting close to dying than actually enjoying if you're sitting in a sort of not really comfortable around death sort of period. So birthdays have never been my thing. But for kids, they're the best thing in the world. So I love excitement. My daughter teaches it to me every day because we've forgotten. We've forgotten the spontaneity. So we have created such an ordered and structured life where we forget excitement exists on every corner. That how do we do it well, right? So we don't want to get lost in it and be impulsive, right? So as an adult, being excited and being impulsive is really, really dysfunctional.
It can lead to all sorts of things, I guess, like addictions, you know. It could be like about shopping as well, things like that. At least that's what I experienced.
Making decisions, spending money on things that you really don't need. And you get that beautiful endorphin kick around it. And then you realise, hey, I've got no money in the bank. And so what do you do when you're excited about something and then you've actually got to be responsible, right? And then that responsible word comes in and squashes the excitement, doesn't it, sometimes? So we've got to learn to be excited in a really calculated way as an adult, right? Our kids show us that every single day, and I really get excited for my little ones, right? And their learning and their journey. And I run a calculated experience around excitement. And I know I've got my anxieties and fears that come along because that's what we do when we are adults. We grab our baggage. Okay, so the most important thing that you want to understand around being excited about life is to have a really clear purpose about where you want to go. If you don't have a plan, and that doesn't make any sense because we're looking at spontaneity, you can be spontaneous with a plan. But if you have a plan in place, then you're excited about the journey that you're going to take to get to the destination of freedom, and then you can be spontaneous within that. What are the things? We've got a huge list of things that we're doing at the moment. We've just done it on the board. Mondays we sit down and we go, okay, what's our week going to be? What have we got to do? And we get in that place where there's a lot of things on that board that I'm really, really excited about that are new. Right, an app that I'm setting up on the phone, our philosophy that we're going to be sharing with the schools, Life Beyond Limits promotion for what we're sharing for a weekend course for free for people that I know people absolutely love when they get the experience to do something with us. So these are exciting things that we're doing, that they're extremely responsible things that we're doing as well. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you said that having like a goal is one of the ways to incorporate like good kind of excitement in your life as an adult. How can you get like this? Because I feel like a lot of people don't have this childlike spontaneity and wonder and things like that in them anymore. How could you, say, awaken that again?
Look, the easiest and fastest way to awaken that childlike excitement is spending time with a child, right? Really, it's pretty simple. Go and spend time with a kid and actually look at the way that they see the world.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why I like to spend time with kids, because they're just really interesting.
So regardless of where you are, you can always find a way to connect with kids and see the way that they think. Because they don't think like an adult brain. They don't register like an adult brain registers information. Mm-hmm. So think differently and spend time looking at the wonder of the way children look. And if you don't have your children in your life at the moment, watch a video that is based on kids, so then you can actually see how they think, because there's heaps of stuff on YouTube to actually see how kids see things. Mm-hmm. And that gives you that excitement again. And I see that with my daughter, especially because she's very much in the period of time from 0 to 7 when you're actually more in that wondrous feeling of excitement. Liam's moving his way out of it because he's 8 and he's dropping into the identity and the personality. So he's got it there, but you can see it moving its way around into this sort of, this is not cool, Dad, trying to fit in with the friends, that sort of thing. So the purest excitement is actually completely lets go of what other people think too. Mm-hmm. So it's such a beautiful energy to experience, because you will relearn how to be yourself through it if you do it properly, right? We have this excitement that we have all in our lives. If we worry about what other people think, it drowns it out. Mm-hmm. Right? So if you're worried about what other people think right now, then you've got to be going into that place of, well, what is it that you can do? Now, there's a little girl that I spent time with. She was actually my neighbour's kid, a good friend of mine. She was struggling at school, and she was 8, 9, getting anxiety, and I gave her a really easy statement: something new is fun to do, right? And she went to school excited about something new is fun to do, because she was worried about what the other kids were going to think of starting, right? And she started to actually find the wonder again. And it was just one little statement that you can play: is something new is fun to do. So then you get that excitement of life. Even when you're doing something that is routine based, you can actually be excited for the present that you're going to get at the end of the day, right? So on the weekend, I was vacuuming the house. Our house takes a while to vacuum, and I wasn't thinking, this is the worst thing. I go into all my thoughts and dreams of where I can take the academy and all of those sorts of things while I'm vacuuming. So vacuuming for me is actually exciting because of where I go. I get to meditate while I'm moving a machine around the house and cleaning it up. And the result is actually feeling really, really, the place feels really clean and uplifted, while I'm uplifting myself doing what you would call a really mundane, shitty job. But I don't get deflated by it. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm vacuuming. I get to go in my own meditation and zone for a while and connect in with what's important, what I value, and all of those sorts of things. So I get excited by the vacuuming. It's meditation for me.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I used to work in housekeeping in hotels when I was doing working holidays overseas, and I actually quite enjoyed it at the time, because I would just like you, just like dream away, because everything was just like routine. After a while, you know exactly what to do, and you just kind of drift off in your thoughts, and you have your dreams and things that you think about. And
so that's one important thing, is that the dreams. So when we have a dream and a want and a wish, when we have that dream, want and a wish, we get excited. We actually get an endorphin kick. Mm-hmm. So I get an endorphin kick through vacuuming. Mm-hmm. Mopping the floor, same thing. I never think, I've got to mop the floor, this is going to be a terrible job. I'm going to my dreams and my wishes. And when we go to our dreams and wishes, our childlike wonder comes back again. And we think, how can we make this happen? And then the thing is, the how is what drops us. Well, how's this going to be? But the wonder is, what if we do it? right? And then we take the how and we go, okay, let's take the steps, and then we actually create this excitement machine in our world, and we start to build it the way we want it. So it's a great way of actually thinking about the mundane tasks that we do and actually going in another zone with it, and actually bringing the wishes, the dreams all together, and thinking about that, and then writing them down and saying, this is what I want in life. And then if you start chasing them, you're going to get the life that you want. I was in the IT industry. I didn't like it. And I found what I wanted to do, which was be a healer. I had this dream and a wish. I was riding down the west coast of America, and I got told, I went and saw an astrologer, and they said, this is going to be your life. I was like, oh, okay. So I went and started chasing my dream. I came back to Australia, did my first course in 1998, and didn't look back. And it took a lot of work to actually get over the other side, because I had all the anxiety and all of that. And when I changed my last day in the IT industry, I cried. I was in IT, so everyone sort of turned their back, didn't know what to do with me, and I was in these tears of excitement of where my next step was. And I haven't worked a day in my life since, and I do have my challenges, right, every day around the adult-based responsibilities that we do. And then I think, hang on, why don't I enjoy this process? I've created something where I don't have to, I don't get bossed around by a boss. I'm a pretty good boss, though, aren't I?
Yeah.
I don't get bossed around. I've created my own life, and I'm focusing on reaching for a life beyond limits. And why should I be worried about what I'm doing when I should be excited about where I'm going? Because I have dreams and wishes, and what I've done, and maybe where you're at right now, is I've chased the dream. I didn't just bank it in my head and go and wish it away. I took steps to get there. And the best thing is, when you take those steps, the excitement becomes reality. Because dreams and wishes can sit in our head forever. And then if they stay there for a really, really long time, when we get older, we live a life of regrets because we didn't chase the dreams, because of our anxieties and our worries and concerns overrode the excitement of the journey.
Absolutely. And I really like what you said before as well, that sometimes we kind of just get caught up in our life, and, you're just not really enjoying the journey and what's around you anymore. Like, sometimes I just realize how lucky we actually are, to just live here, and I just go outside for a walk or something. I'm like, man, I take these things for granted sometimes, but then I go outside and the sun is shining, and I look at this beautiful nature everywhere here in Canberra, and I'm just like, wow, what a great place to be.
Exactly. And look, you could be looking at this and saying COVID. We're in a COVID period right now. I used to love listening to my nan. She was a little bit morbid, but she used to tell me stories around stuff that was happening when she was a kid, and she was born in the Great Depression. So they would have times where if someone had an apple, everyone would be fighting to eat the apple core. They'd be fighting to eat the apple core. We don't have a hard life right now. No one does, right? We've got to chase our dreams. No matter where we are right now, we have the opportunity to build something great at every point. So what I suggest that you guys do, if you're watching this or listening to this right now, is write down your dreams and wishes. Just write them down and spend time. And I want you to think about this before you actually think about the how, because that's what creates this drudgery. Imagine yourself living the dream. So you get the feelings of what that would feel like. Now you're writing a book. I'm so excited. You're writing a book.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too still.
And so it's one of those amazing things. It's not about, and so what we do is we go, who's going to read it, blah, 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 blah. But the process of writing something creative is the zone. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So we want to think about, how do we place ourselves, give ourselves some time to create that beautiful book that you're going to bring to life, and not worry about who's going to read it. It's the process of the journey of the excitement of your dream becoming reality.
It's really, it's amazing to then actually take the step, especially because I loved reading all my life, and I've been thinking about this for a long time. So now finally you're doing it.
Yeah, and now's the time. And so it's such a beautiful thing to be able to do, is to bring the excitement, breathe that excitement through life, and And yeah, I suggest you focus on that dream, and then we focus on a little bit of a how. How do we do it? This is what we do in the academy: help people chase their dreams, turn them into reality, and make them come to life and build their fruition. Because the psychology is usually what holds us back from building that very dream in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to get excited, guys, around life and what we can choose and how we can be. And once we do that, that childlike wonder comes in, and then we take our adult selves through, let's make this dream come to life and bring it together.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this chat. I think this is a great inspiring point to end this chat, and gives you guys food of thought.
Yeah, definitely. And so thanks Philia for today. And if you wanted to watch this, our website is www.wellnessbreakthroughacademypodcast.com. And I'd love it if you could like and share this one. If you're missing that excitement in the world, give this to someone who needs to retain it and get that connection back to that childlike wonder again. I'd love you to like and share it. If you're interested finding out what we do, come and check us out. All right, have an awesome day, and thank you so much, Billy.
Thank you too.